So I'm just sitting here on the beach. My daughter's having a swim and people watching. And I'm in a really pensive, reflective mood today. And I felt like I just wanted to share this. I was watching this family with a little baby, and they looked to be about, I don't know, maybe 12 months old or so. Anyway, and they were taking them down to the water and putting their feet in the water, and the baby was crying and lifting their feet out of the water. And I was thinking, like, to me, that's a pretty good indicator that this situation is really overwhelming, right, for this child. Perhaps they haven't been to the beach before. Perhaps this is all a lot for them. You know, there's a lot of people around and it's hot and the water is cold, as I know for myself. But they just continued to dip them in and out of this water while they were crying. And it got me thinking about how I think in our society, sometimes we see children as like an extension of ourselves and something or someone that we can do with what we want because they're our child. Whereas, you know, my view is that when we are, you know, born into this world, we have our own identity. We have our own consciousness, right? Like we as beings have a consciousness as humans. It's how we relate to one another, and it's how we, you know, have that shared emotional connection and empathy and co-regulation. And I think we've all got this, right? And I think we need to honor the things that children and babies are communicating with us, because while they haven't learnt all of the things that we learn as a human, as a brain, and while they're developing skills and all sorts of other things as they grow and develop, and we are here to guide them and support them in that, I think it's really important to consider that the consciousness is no less than anyone else, no less than you or I, no less than, you know, an adult or an older person. And the messages that they share with us through their behavior and their vocalizations and their expressions, they need to be honored. And I think this was just a really good example of where, you know, I'm sure they're well-meaning parents, right? You know, bringing their child to the beach and wanting to share that experience with them. But, you know, this child was communicating that this was a bit overwhelming. And I think they needed to be comforted and that needed to be honored. So it's just a bit of a musing by Steph at the beach. But please comment and let me know, you know, what your experience has been as a parent, or if you've seen anything like this, or if you're beginning to explore this idea of being able to love and nurture and honour children and still be their guardian, their carer, their protector, still setting boundaries, still, you know, ensuring that there's, you know, certain standards of behaviour and things like that, but then also honouring them as beings, as having their own consciousness and their own feelings and their own experiences of the world. So, yeah, have a beautiful day.